nothing to keep them hanging about when the instruction once it came, and the 137th University Boat Race is underway.
Nearly 200 miles north and a very different stretch of river. We've come to the waters of the Derwent in Derbyshire's Peak District. We're going afloat today not in eights with a cox, but solo in kayaks on a whitewater canoeing course for beginners. Stuart Hardy is an honours graduate in outdoor education. His company, Get Wet River Guides, offers courses both on and off the water, from canoeing to climbing, and from management training to mountain biking. Recently, he's been on location in Wales for a new Robin Hood film, providing safety for stuntmen in waterfall fight scenes and piloting unique camera platforms for special effects shots in the water. There are 9 of us first-timers going in at the deep end, so to speak, on this one-day whitewater course. Lessons begin away from the boats before even leaving the bank.
You've got to learn to read the water very quickly, because it's the water that's going to put you in, not your errors initially. Okay, if you look down at the water here, there's a distinct feature called an eddy up against this bank. In some cases, if it's a very pronounced eddy, the water will actually flow upstream at that point. Okay, so we'll just sneak up the banks to start with until you get used to handling the boat.
The kayaks for today's course are intermediate to advanced whitewater boats and are particularly suitable for beginners. Each of us is almost certain to take a ducking today, and the larger than normal keyhole cockpits ensure that once capsized, we can scramble out underwater with ease.
The main idea is that we should accelerate the normal learning process. If we start off with the main safety criteria as a starting point, namely that the water's safe to swim, the boats are easy to get out of, and people are well equipped, then everything else will follow on from there. And hopefully we can put people onto interesting water far quicker than they would normally do when they've got to go through a whole skill acquisition process.
Once afloat, we head off upstream, paddling from eddy to eddy, breaking in and out of the current, and it's not as easy as it seems.
Nearly. Thank you.
That's it, go for that bank.
8.
That's
9.
it, yeah. So you're leaning away from the current.
Oh.
That's great.
All right, here he goes, look out.
Okay, we'll get into this eddy in a minute. You there? Keep a hold of both of us still. Hold on to my nose.
Inevitably, the current starts to take its toll and we start to get wet. At this point, the river's running at about 15 miles an hour to a depth of up to 5 feet. Downstream of the main group, a rescue boat waits to help the capsized swimmers.
I think so long as people make a correct assessment of the hazards relative to their own skill levels, it's like any other dangerous sport in inverted commas. I don't think it is necessarily dangerous, providing you don't stretch outside those parameters.
At the head of the whitewater, we huddled together close to the bank, daring each other to go first. With the sweeper waiting downstream and Stuart in position halfway, we set off on our first run down. All 9 of us survived the whitewater run in one piece, but the real fun was yet to come. The main problem with going back up again is sort of multifold, really. It's exhaustion, there's problems with the rocks underneath, bedding on rocks, and I suppose just the strength of the current and the technique. I mean, Stuart over here, he knows what he's doing, and you're even finding it pretty difficult. Oh, he's off, someone's gone over.
Quite shocking at first when the cold water hits you for the first time. You get a sense of shock, but then your wetsuit fills up and you're okay after that.
You know the water's cold and you know that you're warm and dry. But I think once you've been in a couple of times, it's too much fun not to enjoy it.
Frightening, exhilarating, great fun.
Yes, well done. Good stuff.